My name's Frankie Suarez. I'm from Miami, Florida. I heard about it watching YouTube, watching Joe's YouTube videos. I was researching real estate investing. I came across it and I listened to one, and before I knew it, every day I would listen to it while I was driving. So last year, at the end of the year, I sold my business and I was looking to get into real estate. So I got my license, but I didn't enjoy being an agent so much. So I started searching, and I would say this was around beginning of June. And then that's when I started following him on a daily basis and actually started implementing some of the free material that he offered on the videos. My first deal, I got my first memo 2 weeks in and sold it 2 weeks after that. So it took about a month to do the full 4 weeks to do the first transaction. It was $3,000. The first one took a little longer, but not that long, maybe 12 to 15 hours total. Right, well, the second deal, which happened shortly after, I signed the house, the memo on Thursday afternoon, and by Sunday I had it sold. So that one was $7,500. So I did that in a few days. I don't think I worked more than 3 hours on that one. Well, when you do what Joe says and you follow the instructions, it will work out. If you deviate from the instructions and improvise, sometimes, you should try to stay true to the system. Don't reinvent the wheel. I would say I'm still a beginner, so it was that second deal for $7,500 for two reasons, not just the money, but how on that particular deal I was able to price it correctly. I was able to sell it. That buyer that bought it on Sunday, he was already telling me on Friday afternoon that he wanted it. So it took about a day, but it took until Sunday to really seal it. And so that was really the best deal that I've done. Then I joined the mentorship program with the money from those deals, and then I was setting up my websites and the auto marketer. So that slowed me down a little bit because I was working on that. And then I just signed 3 memos in the last 2 weeks. So now I'm getting the momentum. Now that is my objective, is to focus on consistency of results so that then I can create a team and which will then reinforce the consistency. Well, you really need to set a goal, a daily and a weekly goal of number of people that you're going to speak to, and you need to stay true to that goal, and that will lead to consistent results. But in the beginning, when you're doing everything, it's easy to get distracted with tasks, but you still need to make the time to make the calls. That's the most important thing. Well, my personal goals are, in the short run, to generate consistent income as an investor, and then more medium to long-term goal would be to establish a portfolio of properties so that I can get passive income. That's really the ultimate goal for me. So I'm happy to say that my wife and I are expecting, and so it's important for me to really put it in the effort now so that I can have time to enjoy time with my family down the road soon. So that's really the biggest impact. Is I know that I'm working towards that goal, is to have time to spend with my family and make a nice living. I am full-time now. I'm really excited, but all of my time is spent learning about the system and implementing it. Well, in my previous business, one of the things that made me sell it was the lack of free time. Not only that, but I was just constantly increasing the amount of effort to maybe get an incremental improvement in the results. And so with this system, I am putting in a tremendous effort now, but as it develops, you will build a team, and then it's not really working hard, but working smart. And so that's really the driver for me. Not yet. Well, I just started. I automated a small task, which is the bandit signs, and that just started this weekend. And as soon as I get another couple of deals, then I'm going to start automating, maybe talking to buyers. That's the next on my list. Before I had the auto marketer, I was making the calls, and then now I'm using the auto marketer, to generate leads, but I'm also making some calls as well. So I'm doing both, but the auto marketer definitely does some of the work for you. So that's one form of automation that I'm using. It doesn't require a lot of money. What it does require is for you to make a decision and take action, even if you're not an expert. You learn by doing. And so just take massive action and don't be afraid of making mistakes. Mistakes will happen, and as long as you learn from them, you can continue to move forward and grow. I think that one of the things that I'd just like to say is when you do close a deal, especially that first deal, it's very gratifying to have that experience, and that reinforces your drive to continue. So that's one thing I'll say.